morning. Welcome to today's lesson, which is geography. We're going to go through some questions which I gave out. So, number one was describe the branches of geography. 4 marks. So, we have three branches in geography, but only two of them are talked about mostly. And those branches are human geography, and then we have physical geography. But the other one is practical geography, which is not discussed mostly. So, physical geography, you've been told to describe, you'll say that deals with natural and physical conditions of weather, climate, vegetation. So it deals with the study of natural, physical environment of humankind. Then that is physical geography. Then human geography, the study of people and the activities on the Earth's surface. So you might be asked to give areas that are of concern under physical geography. You can say vegetation, climate, weather, soil, landforms, drainage, etc. Then when you are asked to state the areas of interest in human geography, you can say trade, include those human activities like forestry, transport and communication, and others. That was question number one. Then under practical geography, we have fieldwork. But the question only asked you to describe the main branches of geography, which we said have human geography. We also have physical geography. I've said under human geography, we deal with those. It's the study of people and the activities on the surface of the earth, while physical geography is the study of natural, physical environment of humankind. Question number two asked you to explain 4 reasons why it is important to study geography, and you would be awarded 4 marks if you explained the reasons correctly. So we have a number of reasons why it is actually very important to study geography. And one of them is that helps us to develop skills of observing, analyzing, interpreting, reading, that is maps, charts, and also graphs. So if you study geography, then you develop the skills to read, to analyze, to observe, a map, a chart, a graph, a photograph, so on. So it also helps us to understand how the Earth was formed, and that is through those theories that you are taught that resulted to the formation of the solar system. So through knowing that is when we know how the Earth also was formed. That is number two, helps us understand how the earth was formed. Number one, we said it helps us to have skills of observing, analyzing, interpreting, that is maps, graphs, and also photographs. Number three, it also teaches time management by schedule drawing under fieldwork. So you can easily manage time when you are at a fieldwork because of drawing a working schedule which directs you, tells you at such and such time I'll be doing this or this, after that proceed to this, so you can easily manage time. Then finally, it helps in solving environmental problems. It helps in solving environmental problems. So those would earn you 4 marks. There are some other, many more. For example, it is a career subject. That is example in the field of photogrammetry. We also have teaching, surveying, and so on. So those are just some of the reasons why it is important to study geography. Then question number 3, 1 mark. What is solar system. Solar system, it's very easy to define, but some people are usually confused by adding the word stars. We all know that the sun is a star, but it is the only star that is included in the solar system. So we only have one star in the solar system, that is the sun. The rest of the stars are not included, are not part of the solar system. So when you're asked to define the solar system, this is what you say. It is the collection of 9 planets together with their moons in orbit around the sun, together with other heavenly bodies such as the comets, meteors, meteorites, and so on. So that is the definition for solar system, the collection of 9 planets together with their moons in orbit around the sun, together with other heavenly bodies such as the meteors, meteorites, comets. 1 mark. Now, the fourth question asked you to state 2 theories which explain the origin of the solar system, and 2 marks would be awarded if one wrote the theories correctly. So we have almost 3 theories. We used to have many of them, but they were removed. So we are now left with 3, of which only 2 of them are commonly talked about. So when you're asked to list or to state them, you state those 2 which are commonly talked about. So we have the passing star theory, then we also have the nebular cloud theory. The last one is the Big Bang theory, which is not widely spoken about. So the first 2 are the most important one that a student needs to understand them. That a student needs to be able to explain how the solar system was formed using either of the theories. Can be asked to explain how the solar system was formed using the passing star theory or using the nebular cloud theory. So a good student should be able to do that. Now, question number 5. Give 3 reasons why the interior of the Earth is hot 1,000,000 times after its formation. 3 marks. So give 3 reasons why the interior of the Earth is still hot 1,000,000 years after its formation. So the Earth was formed very many years ago, but until now, its interior is still as hot as the first years that it was formed. So if you compare the temperature of the exterior part of the Earth and the interior part of the Earth, you find out that the interior part of the Earth is very hot. Now, the examiner here is asking you to give the reasons. Why is it that the Earth is still very hot, and if it has been 1,000,000 years after it was formed, or after the Earth was formed? So the reasons include, first, the interior of the Earth loses heat at a slower rate in comparison to the exterior. So this means that the outer part of the Earth can easily lose heat to the atmosphere than the exterior part of the Earth, which is very far from the atmosphere. So it can lose heat at a very slow rate. So the answer here is the interior of the Earth loses heat at a slower rate in comparison to the exterior part of the Earth. That is why it is still very hot, if it has been 1,000,000 years after it was formed. The other one is the weight of the overlying burden. Because of this, the weight of the Earth. So we have the force of gravity, which tends to pull things towards the center of of the earth. So through that force, the weight of the earth, the force tries to pull the weight of the earth to the center of the earth. Now that weight exerts pressure, which results to the formation of heat. That is the next reason why the earth is still very, very hot, if it has been million years after it was formed. The last one is radioactivity. Question number 6, differentiate rotation of the earth from revolution of the earth. Differentiate rotation of the earth from revolution of the earth. So rotation of the earth is the movement of the earth on its own orbit, while revolution of the earth is the movement of the earth around the sun on its own orbit. So the difference there is the word orbit, then axis. Then we need to remember that while defining revolution, now the earth is moving around the sun, but in its own orbit. When we talk about rotation, the earth is moving around on its own axis. Then you need to include the word while in between the definition of the two words. So your answer should be written like this so that you may get the 2 marks. Rotation of the earth is the movement of the earth on its own axis, while revolution of the earth is the movement of the earth around the sun on its own orbit. Question number 7, 3 marks. State 3 effects of earth rotation. Now, the effects of rotation of the earth are different from the effects of revolution of the earth. Now, we've said that the rotation of the earth is just the movement of the earth on its own axis, while revolution is the movement of the earth around the sun on its own axis. Now, this movement of earth on its own axis, what effect does it have? First, it causes day and night. Secondly, it causes deflection of ocean currents. Thirdly, it causes a difference of 1 hour between 15 degrees longitudes. It causes a difference of 1 hour between 15 degrees longitudes. Now, but when we talk about revolution, we find its effects are very, very different if you compare them with the effects of earth rotation. For example, the effects of revolution, it causes the 4 seasons, varying length of day and night at different times of the year, and so on. The question number 8, how is geography related to the following subjects? Biology, chemistry, agriculture. Now, before you know how geography is related to any subject, you first of all have to ensure that you understand the meaning of that subject. For example, relationship between geography and biology. First of all, do you understand the definition of the word geography? Secondly, do you understand the definition of the word biology? Now, after that, try and link them together. For example, biology, we all know that is the study of living things. Now, geography is the study of Earth as a home of man. So how do these two subjects relate? So they relate through ecology, and ecology is the relationship between human beings or living things and the environment. So through that is how now geography is related to biology. Now chemistry, we know the definition of chemistry. We also know the definition of geography. Now we want to see how they relate to each other. In geography, we have the field of rocks. So in order for us to know the composition of rocks or the chemistry of rocks, we need to use chemistry as a subject. So that is how now these two subjects relate. Then agriculture, need to know the definition of agriculture, link it with the definition of geography. Then it's through agriculture as a subject that geographers are able to study problems facing agriculture and also to get their possible solution. So, in short, you can say geographers are able to study problems facing agriculture and their possible solutions through agriculture as a subject. Then, when it comes to chemistry, chemistry is used in the study of chemistry of rocks in geography. Then biology relates easily with geography through ecology. The last question is a question on time. It says if the time is known at Buchanan in Liberia at longitude 10 degrees west, what is the time in Nairobi, longitude 37 degrees east? So here, at 10 degrees west, the time is 12 noon. Now they want us to find what the time is at 37 degrees east. So this is like the number line. So here, 10 degrees west. Now let's say this, we have 0 here. Then this side, the western side, and this is the eastern side. Now at 37 degrees east, what will be the time? So we need to find the difference between these two longitudes. Now from here to here, we have 10 degrees. Then from 0 to 37, we have 37 degrees. So we add them or we sum them, we get 47 degrees. Now, when we were talking about effects of revolution or of rotation of the Earth, we said that it causes a difference of 1 hour between 15 degrees meridians or longitudes. So that means 1 hour is equivalent to 15 degrees. Here we are talking about 47 degrees. So we cross multiply. We shall say 47 degrees multiplied by an hour divided by 15 degrees. So you have 47 divided by 15. So when we divide this 15 into 47, it goes 3 times because of 45 to all of 15 left. So we convert this. We have 3 hours. Convert this into minutes by multiplying it by 60. So 15 into 15 is 1 time. 15 into 60 goes 4 times. Multiply 2 by 4 and get 8 minutes. So this is what we have: 3 hours and 8 minutes. Then because we are moving from west towards the east, then it means we shall add to 12 and then get 8. So the time in Nairobi shall be 1508 hours. So I believe I've been understood. Don't have any questions, So our lesson ends there. Thank you.